32Q Radio.
Hey, what up, Q? What up, Radio World?
What's going on, people? I want to welcome all of you to Talk to Q. My name is Quincy, and this is my show. And I'm coming to you live. It is September 13th, Tuesday, 2022. And this is episode number 1004, I think. I kind of lost count after 1,000. But welcome. Premiere of season number 13. All right, kicking off season 13. So first thing I want to do is throw out some contact information. You can go to my website at talktoq.com, www.talktoq.com. You can follow me on social media at talktoq. On most places at TikTok, I'm at talktoq Or if push comes to shove, just hit search for hashtag talktoq, and you can basically find me anywhere. YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Twitter, Facebook. Just hashtag talk to Q. Another thing I want to do, I want to send a shout out to Greenville, South Carolina, and Oxford, Mississippi for helping the show grow. My ratings have been good there, so shout out to those of you who are listening to the audio podcast or watching via YouTube. And another shout out to Nicole in North Mississippi, who bought the show 4 cups of coffee last week rather. So thanks for you for doing that. I appreciate the support. You can also buy the show a cup of coffee by going to www.buymeacoffee.com/talktoq or Cashapp the show at $talktoq. The show is listener and viewer supported, so any donations, of course, to help keep the show afloat would be greatly appreciated. All righty, let me go ahead and go to the phone lines, the virtual phone lines, to see who will be joining the mix this evening. And let me go here to the Wolverine state of Michigan and welcome this young lady back, Miss Chandra B. What's going on?
Hey, Q. Thank you for having me. Not a whole lot. Happy to be here, though.
All right. Good to see you back. Shout out to Ro Harris in Baton Rouge. And Ro is currently a participant. I don't know if anyone watches the show 60 Days In, but she's the character. Her name is Rose on the show 60 Days In on A&E, I believe. So be sure to check that out on Thursdays. It's been pretty interesting. I've been watching so far. And shout out to my cousin, Mr. Shelton. And we'll go back, and this time I'll go to the Peach State of Georgia and welcome this lady back on who hasn't been on in a minute, Miss Tushura. What's going on?
Hey, thank you for having me, Q. It's been a while.
Thank you for being here. And now towards the end of the show, I'm going to need you to tell everybody what you've been doing since the last time you were here and get everybody caught up.
Ooh, Lord. Okay.
All right. And lastly, looks like an all-female cast so far. I welcome on Miss McKinney in the Lone Star State of Texas.
Hello, beautiful queens and kings. How's everybody doing today?
Great. How are you?
Most excellent. Just getting off from the jobber, so I'm not gonna make y'all look at me just yet.
Okay. Well, hey, I appreciate you being here. And so we'll get ready to kick things off. That's right. New season. Let's get after it. And okay, so with the meme show, I throw up some memes that I found on social media. Just people send me things, and some things I find myself. And we basically discuss what we would do or how we would handle the situation if we were in it. So it was fairly simple, just to get everybody's opinions. No experts, just opinions, right? All right, so we're going to start off here. Okay. Now, a 99-year-old man divorced his 96-year-old wife after 77 years, because he discovered that she had an affair in the 1940s. And to sure, since you're laughing the hardest, I'm gonna go to you first. Is
Wait a
that
minute.
petty? Does he have a legit gripe?
Bro, we almost dead. You might as well let it ride at this point. I mean, what you gonna do? You gonna divorce me and do what? Die? I mean, like, bro, come on now. Like, we got one foot in the grave and a knee and a hip. Just let it ride, man. We talking about the 1940s. We are in 2023. The 1940s was what? Maybe 60 years ago or something like that?
Longer than that.
Like, come on, bro. Are you kidding me?
Their marriage. Yeah.
Let it go. Because I'm sure he was out there with Hattie Mae. He done did something. So,
I'm feeling like it might have been on his bucket list to get a divorce because he was just like too gung ho. Like, you did that back when? Oh, that's a wrap. I don't want to do it no more. He was just ready to get a divorce.
right. Like, what we gonna do at this point? Divide the vitamins and the pills? I mean, because the kids are grown. Like, let it ride, man.
I know one thing. He better not take the Medicare card. That's what I know.
Listen, you mess around and divorce me and we in our 90s. I'm having your hearing aids, your teeth, your walker. Bruh, it ain't happening.
Oh,
That brought a tear to my eye. Good Lord.
all right. And how do you feel about it, Chandra? Is it petty or does he have a legitimate gripe?
So it depends on how he found out. So if he found out as a result of his child needing something and realized that his child ain't his child, then, maybe that's a legitimate gripe. I don't know. But I think that I'm with the other ladies. It's a little late in life to be deciding that it's over after what's done is done. You can't change that. How does that change anything today?
Not at all. You just gonna die old and lonely unless he got a side chick.
Oh boy, I don't know. I don't know how you handle that or how he needs to handle that or how I would feel. I think after 80 something years, I would probably be over it.
But it's not, but Q, you say that, but he just found out. So imagine that's still, regardless I'm being honest now, regardless if it shouldn't take him too long to get over it. But think about it.
He ain't got too long.
Everything you ever knew about this person is no longer real.
This is when dementia would be good, so he can just forget about it tomorrow.
But then he might remember it on Friday and be hurt again.
But then he's gonna forget about it.
Be hurt all over again. Like, that is a real thing. Like, to know that the person that you trusted all this time isn't the person who you thought she or he was.
I bet you he cheated too.
I can respect.
I mean, it's gonna hurt.
Being upset, yeah,
it's gonna hurt.
But it won't change anything getting a divorce. That's my thing. Is we didn't build a life together. It doesn't change what we have built. Right. But it does. I am gonna go to bed looking at you with one eye open, with that side eye, looking at you like, what you doing? Who you texting? Who you texting? Even at 96, who you texting?
On your flip phone.
But okay, I'm gonna say something for real though. For real, I laughed at first, but when you think about it, it really is sad because doing this to her, she could end up dying from a broken heart. I mean, we done been together all these years, and now you want to do this. Now I wonder how he found out. Did we say how he found out?
No, I have no idea.
Probably Facebook.
No text messages, no Facebook, or nothing.
Back then, all they had were hieroglyphics. I mean, I don't know.
Listen, I'm telling you, he found out because he found out that his child wasn't his, even if it was 50 some years or 70 some years later. That's how they find out at that time. Because you know what? Who's going to still be around to tell you, Miss Susie was cheating on you back in the 40s?
Yeah, unless she just came clean because she was on her deathbed or something. I don't know.
I knew you were going to say that.
I honestly don't know.
The sister told.
But,
I bet you the
I
sister.
mean, they might not have too many relatives still alive. I mean, they both in their high 90s, so
Yeah, and all
know.
they got is each other, man. Just let it ride.
I think at this point, going to the Ricky and Lucy way, not even really Ricky and Lucy, because they had 2 beds in one room. You take your room, I'll take my room, but we're not gonna change and leave houses and divorce and do any of those other things. Because, like she said, we built a life together. Like that's the reality of it. Your SSI is coming to me, mine is going to yours. This is established, and we're not gonna change it after the fact. But yeah, I'm gonna look at it crazy.
Get your SSI.
I'm sorry.
I said, now I got to get half of your SSI,
yeah,
pension and alimony, because you're going to pay me.
Yes.
You try to divorce me, we'd have been together 80-some years. You're going to wake up dead, bro.
All I know is don't anyone out there be surprised if you find a dating profile on Plenty of Fish for a 99-year-old man. That's all I'm saying. Don't be surprised.
I might have to holler at him though, because at the rate I'm going in Georgia anyway.
Amen. And no, we wouldn't be surprised to see anything on Tinder. There's some of everything on Tinder.
I'm so tickled when she said split the vitamins. Boy, I just
like what we for real. What are we dividing up at this age? The geritol? I mean, for real. The insure, you take half the insure, I'm gonna take the let's divide up the diapers. Come on, man.
All right. Moving on. Okay, so she cheated on him while they were together, got pregnant for someone else, yet he still loves her and ready to adopt the child as his own. Okay, so cheating and pregnant, are you raising a baby? Now we got all women on here, so we'll have to try to flip this around. So, Miss McKinney, I'll start with you. If he were to get someone pregnant, are you still going to stick with him and raise that baby as a family?
Because I'm 45, no. But I want to I want to drop some real knowledge to anyone that may be listening. When you make that decision to take care of that child, once you sign the birth certificate, it's yours. Whether y'all split up or not, there's no going back to the judge saying, do a blood test. I know it's not mine. It does not matter. Your signature is all it takes to say, this is now my child. So y'all remember that. That's child support and the whole 9. But no, because, of my age, I don't feel like I would want to go through that drama. Like I'm trying to do nothing but sit on the front porch and rock and drink iced tea and stuff. So that scenario is not for me.
All right. Sitting on the dock of the bay.
That's right.
Sandra, what about you? I mean, are you raising that baby? Staying with that man?
I guess I'm gonna have to go with Miss McKinney, right? At this age, I don't think I'm willing to do that. I'm already well established anyway, and so if we broke up, you got somebody pregnant, and then we decide to, I don't know that we would get back together if that's knowledge that I know. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't need that drama. I know from past experience that there's a lot of drama between age 0 and 3. So I'm not dealing with all that drama. Maybe look me up after the child is 3, 5, 12. I don't know. But at this point, I don't think that's something that I would be interested in doing. But on the flip side, and if I was younger, maybe I would be willing to do that, but not at 47. Not at 47.
Okay. All right. Shout out to Miss J. And yeah, I mean, 0 to 3, that baby's still under warranty. So I completely understand that. And to Shura, what do you think? Do you stick it out, raise that baby? You gonna be the mammy, or do you keep on pushing on?
I forget. Can we cuss on this show?
Yeah.
It's a hell no for me. No. At 48.2, I ain't raising nothing. My kids are grown and gone. They 29 and 20. And then I date men that are in their 50s. So if your geriatric ass pop up with a damn baby, we got a problem, because you're going to be paying child support out your Social Security. So, no. Hell to no. I can't.
All
I
right.
ain't gonna do it.
Okay. All right. Miss
Not
J
even in my
says,
20s or 30s would I do it, because what would keep you from cheating again? And then you go get another
true.
baby. You think I'm about to keep raising these bastard babies? No.
Mm. All right. Miss J says, nah.
Yeah,
And
that's my
Queen Cole
homegirl.
says, I'm not, I'm going to say nope. And Ramisha chimed in and said, I'm not the mammy.
That's right, Misha.
I'm with
They're
her.
my girls. They already know. It's a no.
Okay. And all right, Queen Cole said, good point to sure. All right, so we shall move on. All right. The gift from your ex prior to your wedding. All right. This is a nice, expensive gift your ex gives you prior to your wedding. And now your husband wants you to return it, or there's not going to be a wedding. What are you going to do? You going to keep the expensive gift and have no wedding, or are you going to, how are you going to handle this? And let's see, Chandra, I'll start with you this time.
What? Why would you start with me? No, I don't know. If you're willing to throw away what we say we have because of a gift, then to me that tells me that you don't trust me anyway, and there's some more issues going on there than need to be. And so it would make me pause about whether or not I wanted to continue in the relationship, because why would a gift be an issue? Now, if this person is disrespectful to the relationship, then I wouldn't have a problem with returning the gift if that's the situation. So
I mean, it looks like a nice looking gift.
it
I'm just
does.
saying. So, all right. I got you. And Queen Cole said I'd give it to one of my kids. And she also said, how would he know? Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on if it shows up with a bow on it, he's gonna know.
It's gonna show up.
Yeah. To sure. What do you think? Do you keep the ex's expensive gift and let the chips fall where they may, or do you say, nah, I'm gonna send it back?
First of all, he's an ex for a reason, so him and his damn car can kick rocks, because I'm not about to mess up. Do you know how long it took me to get to the damn wedding day? I am not about to mess up my marriage, not even my wedding day, but my marriage, being disobedient to my husband. I will gladly ship it back. However, there's a flip side to that. If I had the type of dude that be like, hey, we can sell it and take the money and go on a vacation, that's how we gonna roll. It's whatever he say. Whatever my husband, future husband, boo, babe, fiance, whatever he say. He say give it back, it's going back. No questions asked, no argument, no back and forth. He say let's sell it and invest the money and do something else with the money. That's what we gonna do.
Okay. All right. I like that. Miss McKinney?
We not giving nothing back. Because I'm kind of like Miss Tashir. The man that I'm with we're gonna be so sound and secure within us that we're gonna look at this as a come up and appreciate the gift and go on about our business. I mean, it's got a purple bow on it and everything. So it was
right,
thoughtful.
my color.
It was absolutely thoughtful, but we're not giving anything back. And I can say that because I strongly feel that whatever man I was with wouldn't be insecure with the gift.
All right.
And that's the key right there. If they're secure in it, what difference does it make who gave me the gift? What difference does it make?
But it would be a us gift at this point, because we're one. So he's not giving it to me; he's giving it to us. So us gonna decide what we gonna do.
And so whoever you with, if they have that kind of major reservation, when it's a blessing. It's a gift to us, our union. I would still raise my eye. Like, what? Why does that cause pause for you? Why does that cause pause for you?
So let me flip it. If your dude gets a gift from his chick, his ex chick, you gonna feel the same way about it?
No, we giving it back.
No, wait a minute.
No, we giving it back because we don't need her car. We don't need her car.
See me, I'm the same way. Like for me, I don't have a problem with it. If that's what we doing. Now, again, if this person is interjecting themselves in my relationship, then the car has to go back. But if they just because either we shared a child together or something like that, and they want to see me they want to give me me or us that gift, why would that be an issue? But if you doing it to create problems in my relationship, then yes, it got to go back, because I'm not going to mess up, like what you said, what I've created. But if that is not the issue, and my man is insecure about that, then he's going to be insecure about me making more money than him. He's going to be insecure about the dudes that I work with. He's going to be insecure about a whole lot of other things based off of you having a problem with somebody I don't even deal with, don't have conversation or relationships with, that's giving us a gift.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with, as a guy, I wouldn't have a problem with it as long as it's, some sort of understanding. Like, say, for example, if he sees me driving it and he's calling her, complaining to me why he driving that car I gave you. See, that's a problem. That's the type of stuff I don't want or whatever. But if he gave it to us as a wedding gift, I mean, I know it's for her, but if it's going to us and there's an understanding that, hey, this is just as much my ride as it is hers, then at that point we're going to decide if we're going to ride, keep it or sell it or whatever. I'm not turning down nothing but my collar. I mean, it's hard out here in these streets. So I just think that you just got to get some sort of understanding. And as long as the understanding is had, then hey, it's fine. But if he gets to tripping and stuff like that, if he's one of those type of guys that's like, no, I don't want to see him in it, then no, we can't keep it.
But the thing, and that's what I'm saying, that person is interjecting themselves into your relationship, which shouldn't be the case, because I don't know, there was a lot of people that was invited to my wedding, but they not in my everyday life. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not sitting up there discussing, do you use my ice cream maker? Do you use my, I'm not doing that. Do he use my ice cream maker or do you? Like that. That's not a discussion I'm having with people that gave me a wedding gift, right? So if this is a person that I know that is trying to have interfere with my relationship, then that gift has to go back, because I already know that's what it's going to be. Because I'm not even taking your calls. Why are you calling me saying because you saw him riding? Like, why would that even be an issue? There isn't no discussion about the gift. The gift is mine now.
Yeah, you blocked, so you can't get through.
Quick question. Is it any difference if it's a birthday gift?
Birthday, Christmas, New Year's, all of that. But the thing is why is this person, if they are your ex truly, and you don't share children with them, if this person is truly your ex and there's no other connection, why is this person still involved in your life like that?
Because they're trying to cause confusion. They are trying to cause confusion.
That's a nice ride, though.
And to address what Mr.
Like
Shira
Range
said,
Rover,
I just feel, I'm sorry.
Yeah, looks like it. But go ahead, Ms. McKinney.
I just feel like if a woman gave that car, it would be a different sentiment behind it.
It's same thing.
I burned my bra and believe in women's rights like everybody else. But knowing women the way I know women, that's a boss move. That's not that's not I've enjoyed you and hope you and yours enjoy yours. Coming from a woman, I feel. From a man, I think it might be a little bit different. We got that whole baby girl, daddy, baby dad, or big daddy, whatever thing going on. So to me, it's a little bit, it's way more different if it's a woman giving the gift. And therefore I say we will be giving it back.
I'm gonna tell you about that boss move. Because guess what? That boss ass car will be getting traded in and cashed out. Okay? Right. So it's the same thing. It doesn't matter if a man gives me a gift or a woman gives him a gift. It's whatever we decide to do. So if she want to play boss B, I got your boss B. I'm about to boss B and cash that B in. Okay?
Right on.
All right. That was interesting perspective. I enjoyed that one. So we'll go ahead and move on to the next one. And this person says, we need to stop telling mothers that it takes a village, because nowadays, literally no one shows up for us. There is no village, so stop telling us that's what it takes. Okay, so let me ask you all this. Is there no more village mentality because there's no more village? And Miss McKinney, what you think?
Ooh, you had to come to me first. First of all, let me say thank God that mine is 22. Okay. Um, the village is there, but the village doesn't necessarily think like you do. So therefore, if you want to get your child to where you want your kid to go, you need to pay attention to the village. And in my situation, there weren't a lot of people that thought like me around the village. So they were there and they could tell them to, move out of the way of the car or don't touch the dog and get bit and things like that. But when it came to things a little bit heavier than that, spiritual things, emotional things, there really wasn't much of a village. And I would say to, single moms out there, believe me when I tell you that God is for real. The village that'll get you and yours through. But I think that, again, I think there is a village. It's just that, even from street to street, the village can be so different. So.
All right. D. Harris says, I got a village, so no comment. All right. And Tashura, what do you think? Is there no more village mentality because there's no more village? Do you agree with what the person said?
I'm like Miss McKinney. Mine are grown and gone. However, this made me think back to when I had my first child at 19. I didn't have a village. I had a me. And it was hard those first 5 years. It really was. I had to send my son all the way to California so my cousin could watch him so I can finish getting my high school diploma. So yeah, it's hard. It's hard. So that's all I can say on this.
Shout out to you, Queen.
Thank you.
All right. What you think, Chandra?
I think that there is villages out there. I think that I am very blessed. Unlike the other two ladies, mine is 4. So yes.
I don't know what to do with one of those. I don't speak that language.
And so my village came around and supported me and has always. And that's just, maybe that's the family, the culture, the area. But I think sometimes pride also gets in the way of us asking for help. And so sometimes we're not willing to redefine what villages are, right? The village doesn't always have to be blood relatives. It can be your best friend. It can be, the neighbor or the person that supports you. I moved into my community here, which is, I'm the only Black person in my community here. And they noticed that I'm a single parent. And the guy behind me, he cuts my grass, all of my grass. The 70-something-year-old man across the street, he comes over when it snows and shovels my snow, because and this is now I've never had that anywhere else, but here it happens. And so there are villages. The thing is that, are we open to it? Are we willing to ask for help? Are we putting ourselves in a position where people can support us? So.
All right.
And I agree with you on that one. I definitely didn't open up. I wasn't out there looking for an additional part of that. So I can appreciate that. And blessings to you for having a village around. Cutting that grass is a big one.
It is. It is.
All right.
I just need somebody to take out the trash.
Now.
Oh, wow. But
Dominique chimed in and said, woo, this is the one. And Dominique also said, grandmas are getting younger and younger these days, so villages are sparse for guidance. And real quick, let me get I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Big Mama is 35, and now she might be young. She might even be younger than that. And so think about it. If at 35, I didn't got most or all of my kids are either half grown or all the way grown, I ain't trying to raise no 4-year-old, no 2-year-old. I'm not trying to do that. So, I mean, yes, 100%. And that's what I'm saying. We have to redefine or expand the definition, just like we do for extended families. We define who our family is not only and always blood relatives. And so sometimes we have to look beyond that which is blood related or grew up in the household with us.
Okay. Yeah, 35. Some of them still in the club. So
they gonna be in the club.
get down on the floor. And let me go back to the phone lines and get a man's perspective on this.
Oh,
Got one of my
Lord.
show legends chiming in. From the 850 area code, the Emerald Coastline of Pensacola, Florida, making his way to the ring, the man in black, the Buckster. What's going on, Buck?
What's going on, everybody?
Hey,
Hey, what's
Buck.
happening, man?
Hey now.
Working as usual, but it is what it is.
I hear you. Buck,
Yep.
what's your take on this, man? Is the village mentality gone because there's no more village?
I believe so. I mean, and mainly because of the age of the village. Just grandmas now are in their, some of them are even in their 20s. It's an unfortunate part of reality. So with that being said, I mean, they still got Similac on their breath and don't know how to be a grandparent. The aunts and uncles are the same age. You're dealing with a younger mentality. I think when I was listening, somebody said that, Big Mama 35 and still rolling in the club. So with all of that being said, I mean, with the age of and if I'll say this too, sometimes the grandparents are the right age, but they live across country. And, with the economy the way it is, parents can't go see grandparents. Um, we're still dealing with COVID, to a little bit too. So there's a lot of different variables now where that village mentality is just no longer there. And, you know, a village is what you make it. You have to, if your blood relatives are not there, then there may be good friends, neighbors, what have you. If your kids are in extracurricular activities like band or football or what have you, mothers, kind of group together, fathers group together. So, in case mom has to work or dad has to work, hey, I got your kid tonight, you get mine tomorrow night type deal. So you kind of have to, if you can't rely on your regular blood relatives as, that village, uncles, aunts, those type of things, then, it might be a neighbor. It may be, somebody live 3 or 4 houses down. They could be a part of that village to kind of help, get that going. But it really depends on the parents and what their stipulations are and things of that nature. So the village
Yeah,
mentality is definitely dying, but there are other ways to have that village mentality if you're willing to utilize it.
I agree. And I think that another part of it is it kind of depends on where you live as well. Like the neighborhood I grew up in, uh, generations of families stayed in that neighborhood. So, and the 2 houses next door to me, um, my father knew their parents and 3 generations of families there, so there was some trust there. My next door neighbor on the other side had lived there for 40 or 50 years, so 2 generations of families that come up in that house, so there was some trust. Now it's hard. If you live in an apartment, you may have a different neighbor every 6 months, so you really can't develop relationships over years, over decades, like our parents did, may have had the opportunities to do. So it's very hard to find people to trust to even have a village. So I kind of understand where the person is coming from. I don't think I don't think that people don't want the village. It's just that it's hard to find one you can rely on.
Yeah.
And Ramisha said, I am 46. I'm a grandma. And I believe the kids don't voice the need because they believe that it's weak. That's weak. So, yeah, so that's someone who says that she thinks her kids don't ask for help because they don't want to come off as being weak parents. So, I mean, I guess there are different reasons why some people don't have the mentality. But
their ego and pride gets in the way of a lot of things. When we refuse to ask for help, we suffer, our children suffer, others suffer as a result. And it doesn't have to be that way.
Not at all. All right. So a couple more, we get ready to wrap things up. So let me go here. Let's see. All right. Let's see if I can read through all of this. I met someone last night that just got served with divorce papers after being married for 22 years. She's a stay-at-home mom for 22 years. She has no money and has to figure out how to rebuild her life with no work history in the last 22 years. Of course, child and spousal support will be given, but it won't be enough. Let this be a lesson that no matter what a man has or what he's doing for you, always have your own, a hustle, separate savings account, something. Don't let what a man brings to the table be the only thing you eat. Don't care if it's a husband, boyfriend, or whatever. All right. Sorry I struggled through that. So the question is, and let me start with who I want. I think Tashura would be fun to start with. Should wives always keep a nest egg, Tashura?
I think a wife should always do something. A woman should always have some type of income other than her husband, because if something happens to that husband, you're going to have to find you another husband to take care of you. So you should always, like they said, have a side hustle, have something going on where you are generating income from yourself, for yourself. Because even though I was married, I always had a job and about several side hustles. So I was never dependent on his income.
Okay. And let's see, Miss McKinney, what say you, ma'am?
I say that I wouldn't even feel like myself if I wasn't bringing in some money or had some kind of little side hustle going on. The household these days take multiple incomes to make it and be successful anyway. So, yep, I think she's good with it. I do think that she should maybe disclose the roundabout amount, or, definitely not let things slide on the other side because she's trying to put aside money for her new husband. I wouldn't say sabotage what you got going on now for something in the future, but yeah, for sure. Get out there and get your grind on, mama.
All right. And Amy chimed in from Jackson, Mississippi, said, I'm going to work, period.
Point blank.
Period.
All right. Chandra, what do you think?
So, what a blessing it would be to be able to stay at home for 22 years and not work, right?
Whew.
But I'm going to make some
22
assumptions,
days.
but that ain't necessarily a reality that many women have, and definitely not many women of color have. I'm not saying that it's not possible, but it's not usually an option that we have. And so working is a part of our DNA, unfortunately or fortunately, right? So now, if I had that blessing to where I didn't have to work for 22 years and all of that good stuff, what you do have to do is be smart about what you do. So there's always a way of income, allowances, whatever that is, but you always set something aside, not anything more than just to say that this is my money to be able to buy gifts, you have to, there's something about working and earning your own money, your own income. There's something about that helps to create your self-esteem, your self-worth. And so, and raising children is one thing, that's great. But at the end of the day, there is something to be said about working outside of the home as well. And so, even if it's just a little bit of change, you still need to figure out, how can I create a savings for myself? Because you don't know what tomorrow brings. And he don't even have to leave you. He can get hurt, injured, or whatever. And now all of a sudden it's been flip-flopped and the responsibility is now yours. So you either keep your education going, you do something that you're always able to pick up and walk out the door the next day and start work if need be.
Okay,
Even if it's nonprofit, something. You need to keep your hands in something.
Yep.
Let me ask you this. So are you all saying, I understand what you all are saying as far as working and everything, but are you putting away something that's hidden, or are you disclosing to the husband that, hey, whatever money I make, or I may have a bank account over here or something like that? Are you disclosing that information?
I said disclose. I did.
So,
yeah, depends on the
so
husband.
For me,
I'm serious. Okay. So
wait a minute, you're ready to share a whole Range Rover with a man a little while ago. Now you want to hide your money?
No, see, now I'm thinking back to the husband that I had. See, it depends on the husband. See, I was talking about the husband I'm going to have. Now we gonna be like this, but the husband I had was like this. He would be the type of person that would want to spend up the money in my account and hold on the money to his account. So when if something decide to happen, I don't have a cushion. So that's why I say it depends on the husband, because there are some men that like to keep you here and like for themselves to be here. Right. So you might have the type of husband where you can't disclose that, hey, I got this account over here, because it's going to cause a problem. You have to know the man that you're dealing with.
And I would agree with that. I think that many times.
I hope that wouldn't be your husband, but okay.
Well, the thing is,
unfortunately,
the thing is, I would agree with that, Q. But at the same time, stuff happens, and we get into relationships. Then things change, things shifts after we have children. Things shift after somebody's job gets a promotion, whatever. There are life events that cause shifts in individuals' personality and the way that they conduct business. And so with that, I agree that it depends on the relationship. When I was married, one of the things that I watched prior to being married was my parents argue about money. I said, I'm never going to argue about money with whoever I'm with. And so it was decided early on that we can share a household and we'll pay the household bills together or whatever. If you need me to put money in there, that's fine. But in the person that I married, he took care of all of the household. I saved the money. When we got a divorce, I split the savings just like he did all of the households. So it really depends on who you marry, right? Because there's abuse that's going on in relationships as well. So if there's abuse going on, whether it's emotional or physical or psychological or financial, hell no, I'm not telling you that I'm keeping the kids' allowance and taking part of that to create a nest egg, because there's no trust there. But I'm here because of whatever the situation may or may not be that affords me the ability to leave or not leave. And so, it's easy on the outside looking in and questioning why people stay. People stay for a myriad of reasons. And sometimes it's because I don't have the resources to be able to leave. And so you have to stash that money away when you can, however you can, even if it's $10 a month, until you can create a nest egg that can do something for you.
Okay. Amy says, I'm not disclosing anything. I bet you Amy's sitting on a gold mine over there. So financial abuse is real.
Yes, it is.
And Buck, what's your opinion on it as a man? How would you feel if you found out your wife was holding out on you and had a little nest egg? Would that bother you, Buck? You're on mute, Buck. Can't hear you.
No, that does not bother me. In fact, everybody should have some sort of nest egg anyway, and it should be disclosed. Just to make sure that you take care. Make sure you take care of your family first. Maybe it could be something as simple as a. Hold on, just a second. I got some background noise here, but anyway, it could be something as simple as y'all could break it up to where you're dealing with something as simple as, let's say it's your vacation money or something like that, and you put money back, and that could be, it could be a nest egg. You say, hey, look, this is vacation money, but you can also use it for something else. But make sure everything's disclosed, because if you're in a great relationship, it shouldn't be a problem. So always be prepared is what I say, because with how crazy things are in today's life, you need to be prepared. But I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, see, me, I would I don't think I would have a problem with it ultimately. Would my little feelings be hurt a little bit? Yeah, if I found out. But I understand, because it's like you got insurance on your car, you got insurance on your house, so you got to have insurance on your well-being, yeah, so to speak. So I don't think you can frown upon that anymore. You can frown upon a prenup. It's a reason why people do these things. Sometimes you got to secure yourself. And so I don't really have a problem with it. Now, if the house is falling apart, if we can't pay our bills and you sitting on 6 figures over there, yeah, that's a problem.
Right.
At that point, just go ahead and leave, because you're not contributing. But I mean, outside of that, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like I said, it may hurt my feelings a little bit, but and Ramisha says I have an awesome husband and I have a stash as well. He knows about it and has no issue, but he builds and save for us as well. So okay.
Excellent.
And Miss J said, "Ooh, child."
You better not start. Don't start, Jay.
All right. So one more, and we'll get ready to wrap this thing up. Miss Jace tickled at you to sure. And all right, this is a young lady who has a YouTube channel called Free Game. Her name is Cherry Yams, and so she posted this, and I thought I'd share it with you all to see what you think. But long story short, she basically says being needed is easier than being wanted. Women start dating men with their own homes, cars, money, and watch how it requires you to bring more to the table than a house, car, and money. It's easier to get that bum, clean him up, help him find a decent job, not one that will sustain him, just one to say he's working. So, in other words, she's basically saying that if you aim lower, you can, I guess, have an easier go at it. That's what it sounds like. I don't know how y'all want to translate that um, on your own. And so, Miss McKinney, let me start with you. Does dating a
Lord,
successful person require too much? Is it easier to find that bum and clean them up? And, that way you ain't got to bring so much to the table to meet a successful person's requirements.
um, yes, it is easier to clean up the bum, but let me add some more to that, an appreciative bum, because you can get a man with some money or you can get a bum, but if neither one of them appreciate you or themselves, then you're not going anywhere anyway. But I can see what she's talking about. Some men that have everything together as far as what society considers together, right? A car with some leather in it and some shiny things, teeth and gold and stuff like that. As far as whatever they do, tend to probably want a little bit more extra, but not in departments that make sense. Like I don't know if looking for a dime piece or someone that sits in the corner quietly or so. At least that's what I experience in dating men on that criteria. So yeah, I agree with her. I would love to find the man at McDonald's with some ambition that wants to be the manager one day or own his own little chain. I have no problems with that. I think that's a great idea. Maybe I should change avenues.
Ooh, y'all
All right.
funny.
She's looking for what was the guy from the McDonald's commercial back in the day, little Calvin from down the block.
Little Calvin from down the block. We can do it. If he want to do something, we can do it.
All
Right?
right. All right. And Buck, let me get a guy's perspective on this. Buck, do you think that dating a person who is successful requires you to bring too much to the table? I mean, they feel like because they got all the money and the title and the everything, the status and everything, that you gotta be on their level, so to speak, and you gotta work for it.
You know, the only people that need to be impressed are the ones that are sitting at the table with you, and that's your family. Um, you know, if that's not motivation enough for you, I don't know what is. Um, we tried when I was married, we made sure that the kids had everything. I mean, when they may have not had it directly when it came out, but it was soon thereafter. We worked together to make sure that we had Christmas bought by the end of by Thanksgiving. That was our goal every year. We started buying Christmas stuff in June, major gifts and everything. So in December, I said, "Hey, babe, what you want?" Just surprise me. All right, and we had plenty of money in December to buy for each other, and that's when you have a relationship, when you can work it out like that, where everybody's on the same page, it's good. And common sense plays into that. So, if your family is not motivation enough, then you don't need to be in that situation. You need to be by yourself until you can get grown enough to handle those type of deals.
All right. And Tashura, what do you
You
think?
must see my pen over here working. I'm over here writing. These thoughts are coming. Listen here. Like I said in the chat, I reached my broke ninja quota in 2015. I can admit some men with money are very arrogant to the point where they are assholes and they treat women like they are expendable. However, we are not in high school anymore, and this is where we make our mistake. We are out here in our 40s and 50s dating people based on potential. Potential means nothing if you ain't getting up off your ass and doing something. I met a guy that wants to be a millionaire, but he don't wake up to 12 o'clock in the afternoon. How, Sway? You in your 50s already. You half of 100. When you gonna be a millionaire? When you turn 80? Like, what are we doing here? So I'm no longer dating based on the potential that I can see, because I can see potential in men. I can help men start businesses and do this and do that. And I've tried. I tried to date a bum, a quote unquote bum, and clean him up and help him to reach the goals that he said he wanted to reach. But that was just talk. Half the time it's just talk so they can get you. So I don't date based on potential. You're going to have some damn credentials, and I need to see some tangibles around this mofo, okay? Because broke plus broke equals broke.
This is true. So he's waking up at 12 o'clock. Was he at least buying lottery tickets? I mean, what was he doing?
Podcasting. But anyway.
But see, now Calvin been at work. Calvin been at work at McDonald's.
Working on that management position. Working on that management.
That's my boo.
Sandra, what do you think about it? Does dating a successful person require too much? I mean, is Cherry on to something here?
Well, okay. So what she's saying is that people are taking the easy route by dating someone that is less than their status or whatever, and then trying to clean them up. So that's easier, right? Because you want to feel needed. And that's true. There's some truth to what she's saying. People like to feel needed.
Absolutely.
Versus wanted. Being wanted, right? Because if I come with my own, and see, this is an issue, then there requires desire, right? Desire means that we have to be on the same page. We have to connect in ways that are far beyond materialistic. And that is hard to do, right? Because people are so heavily focused on what everybody's bringing to the table. And one of the key words that I didn't hear is values. And when you talk about values, it should not matter if you are an artist and you only sell one piece, when you sell that piece, you get $300,000, right? So am I going to be like, oh, he a bum, right? Maybe not. It's because that person may have the same values that I have, and values are what's key. Now, if you value money and material, then yes, you need to date up, or you need to figure out how to get in those circles. But again, if we are both coming, and what she's saying is if we're both coming with the same thing, it requires so much to maintain that relationship because the desire has to be present. And again, I tell people, when there's need, there's obligation. And I don't want to be loved out of obligation. I want to be loved out of desire.
All right.
But once
y'all dropping some quotes. Y'all dropping some quotes here. But from a man's perspective, I don't know if we really care how much a woman makes, or does it matter to you how successful a woman is?
No, it's not. It's not. I mean, the bottom line of it is when it's like Chandra was saying, it's about values and being desired. It's all right. I don't want to be needed. I want to be desired too, and that's a two-way street there. I don't care if the damn girl work at Walmart. I don't give a shit. The bottom line of it is if you're on the same page, and it's more about, it's not about just laying in the sack. It's not about, having fancy cars and all that kind of stuff. If we're doing things together and we're building together, that's all that matters. I mean, at the end of the day, when you grow old together and you're sitting on the porch, the things you're thinking about, you're not thinking about that time that you were knocking the boots on the beach. you were thinking about times when you slipped down while you were washing the car together, and you laughing together, you cry together. You remember the little things, and that's the things that you're looking for, when you have a mate on either side. It's the little things that you're looking for. It's not all this, it's not the stereotypical things that society puts out there making you think that's what's important in a relationship.
Okay.
Can I say
And
something?
yeah, go ahead.
He just said something key about building together. I find that nowadays, like with men I met, and even some women, they want you to already have it. They don't want to build anything together. And then you have some people that just want you to have it. And I always say you can't build with somebody that don't want to bring a brick.
That's true. That's
I,
true.
I,
That's
I
true.
definitely, I definitely agree. And that's, what are we building, right? And that's where the values have to align. If our values don't align, because some of us are happy and can have an enjoyable life with $50,000. Some of us, it requires 100,000. Some of us, it requires even more. What values, or what do you place value? Are our values in line, right? What's happiness to you? What's success to you? What's building, right? What are we moving toward? How are we sharing our life? What do you mean when you say building? Are you talking about building wealth? Are you talking about building a family? Are you talking about and the thing is people don't ask each other questions. They make assumptions and make inferences about what is being shared or said, and instead of saying, well, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by
Right.
X, Y, and Z? And we just assume. And so then we're like, oh yeah, they value the same thing I value. And then come find out 5 years later, 2 kids later, y'all don't value nothing the same. Both of y'all may have the same values, but how you align, like family is important to me. Well, yeah, but family for you is number 5 and family for me is number 1. We need to talk about how those values are aligned. And people don't do that. That's I'm gonna get off my soapbox.
All right.
Greatness.
Good stuff. And I don't know. I just I never cared about how successful a person was, as long as they were, nice and not arrogant, like Tashura said. I mean, I've come across some of those before too. Matter of fact, I can think of one in particular who started off like real bad, but worked her way up to really good. And the more money she made, the worse she got. So, some people don't handle success all that well. But really, I don't think that a person's status, first of all, should go to their head. And secondly, it shouldn't be uh, the end all be all when it comes to a relationship. Because, like Chandra said, if you don't have values aligned, it really don't matter who's making what. You're not going to work. So, and Ramisha said you can be equally yoked, and Tashura said you can be equally broke too.
But if we broke and happy, what's wrong with that? If we broke and happy, now if we broke and unhappy,
ain't no happiness in being broke. Y'all be arguing when you broke. That peanut butter and jelly get old.
All right, so let me get ready to wrap things up and get to our final thoughts. I'm gonna take a quick 60-second break. Well, really, it's 54 seconds.
Hey, my brothers and sisters, this is Ashley D, also known as the Sensible Sister. Sensible Sister is an online candle shop where we specialize in making natural, handmade scented candles. Our mission is to bring joy to our customers' lives through fragrance. Our scent choices are chosen through studies we research to find scents that will calm the mind, body, and soul. Every product is specifically handmade and scented to bring your mind to a place of serenity. Check us out at www.sensiblesister.com and follow us on Facebook at Sensible Sister LLC. And always remember, there is no such thing as having too many candles.
All right, shout out to Ashley Dumas, the Sensible Sister. Thank you for that. let's go ahead and wrap things up. Get to our final thoughts. I won't hold you too much longer. I appreciate you all taking the time. It's been a lot of fun. This went from just being a regular old podcast to turning into Def Comedy Jam. Y'all had me rolling over here. I had to wipe tears. And so, all right, so we'll get to our final thoughts, and just, you don't have to hit every topic. Just if there's one that stood out to you, you want to discuss, that's fine. But let me start with you, man. You last one in. If I get your first one out, let me get your final thoughts. Can't hear you, Buck.
I was getting it off mute while the picture's coming up here. Anyway, yeah, great show tonight. I mean, it sounds like a lot of knowledge. It's kind of cool to be the only guy on this. With a lot of ladies over here, it's kind of cool to hear the perspective and see. We have good, mature women on here tonight, and that's a good deal. And there's a lot of good knowledge being put out there tonight. But anyway, when it comes to values and relationships and things of that nature, the most important thing to me is communication. Communication is the most important thing. If you got a good line of communication, things work out better. If you're on the same, if you're got common sense and you're on the same level, you got to ask questions. You got to be able to know what your mate's all about. You need to find that out before it gets too far. You don't want to get caught up in something, and you think you know your mate because you're assuming. Assumption is the mother of all fuck ups. So the bottom line of it is you got to make sure you know what you're dealing with and know early. If your line of communications are open, you won't have any issues. Make sure your values on the up and up. Make sure that whatever you're doing, like I said, building together and spending a life with a mate is important, but it needs to be a together thing, not something that you're doing on the side and keeping the other one in the dark. So if you don't learn anything else, hopefully you learn what I just said. But great show, and everybody enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you very much, sir. And Miss McKinney, what say you, ma'am? Final thoughts?
Fantastic show. I'm glad to be on with each and every one of you. Two things I'll take away is, one, when I get off of here, I'm going to get on Tinder and see if I can find Mr. Earl. How old was he? 80?
99.
90. That was going to get a divorce. I'm going to look for him. And then when I'm done with that, I'm going to trolley on down to McDonald's and see if I can find me a Calvin. So I'm very appreciative of this episode tonight. Congratulations on kicking off your new season. Thanks for inviting me. And again, had a good time.
Thank you so much. Let the people know where they can find you, Miss McKinney.
I am Miss McKinney. We are a podcast, Porch Time with Miss McKinney. You can find us on all major DSLs, Apple, Spotify, Instagram, and Facebook. We just started doing some YouTubing, so you'll be sure to go out and catch us there as well.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
Chandra
you for having
B,
me.
what say you?
Oh, great show. I truly appreciated being on here and having the opportunity to see some new faces as well, and to rub elbows with some old players. But for me, I think whether it's you getting a divorce after 22 years or after 70 some years, or you're being gifted a car, whatever those things that we talked about. I think the main thing is knowing thyself, right? I think it's important for us to know thyself and know what we bring to the table, not from a financial standpoint, but from an emotional value standpoint. But also, and being true to that, being true to who we are. And so if you want to raise somebody else's child, that speaks volumes about who you are as an individual, right? But make sure you're doing it for the right reason, not so that you can say you were the person that stepped up and you brag about it in a way that, takes away from the intentions. So know who you are, know and be true and honest to your intentions. That's what I would say.
All right. Let the people know where they can find you.
We talk about everything relationship oriented on the Chase Lounge. And currently we are in a hiatus, but you can still catch all of the previous episodes. I believe it's over 30 episodes Well, I'm talking A to Z relationship. There was a couple of series that we did on affair recovery, as well as building a relationship from foundation to funeral. And so those are all available on any of the where you can find your favorite podcasts. So Apple, Spotify, all of those. I think even Amazon. So
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much.
thank you for having me.
And Tashura, shut it down for me.
All right, I'm gonna try to give my recap real quick. You divorced me after 1,100 years of marriage. I'm coming for your hearing aids, blood pressure medication, diapers, and dentures. Okay. You will leave here deaf, with high blood pressure, messing on yourself, and yeah, you won't be able to chew nothing. You can't build with somebody that don't want to bring a brick. And I ain't taking care of no outside babies. Okay. You have a break baby on me, I'm breaking out. I'm not Gabrielle Union. Okay.
Oh,
All right. I'm just saying.
Shout out to Gabrielle Union, by the way.
Bo, bo, bo.
Oh boy, Tashura, let the people know where they can find you, and what's been why how come I ain't seen you in so long?
Well, you
What
haven't
you got
seen
going
me.
on?
You haven't seen me because I was taking my bricks while I was on hiatus and I was building. So I went from broke and living in my warehouse. I ain't gonna say broke, from struggling and living in my warehouse to I now have moved into one of my dream homes temporarily. I will be getting another one in about 2 years, and it'll actually be mine. I've been minding my Black owned businesses. KKG Creations is no more. It is now Sure Thing Bling. I'm out in these streets and I'm vending at various events, still blinging and making my customized products. So you will see more of me. I will be doing guest appearances on various podcasts. Tashura Talks is kind of still in hiatus, but it'll kind of be in effect. I'll just be doing my award tour like I did last year, being guest on different platforms and probably doing a few little things on my own. But basically, I am teaching and trying to become a social media influencer as well.
Where can they find you?
They can find me at Ashura Talks, or you can find that. Well, that's across all platforms: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, or you can find me at Craft Crack Glitter. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I be pop locking on TikTok. You know how I do. So you might catch me on the live. I'll be making something and rapping or whatever. Just come have fun with me.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you joining the show. It's been too long, but it's so good to see you, and I'm so happy to hear about all the recent successes that you've had, and I
Thank you.
hope that you've put together many more bricks to build it even higher.
And hopefully I have somebody to build with.
There you
Pray
go.
for me.
There you go.
I'm in Georgia. Pray for me.
But just stay away from Calvin from McDonald's because he belongs to Miss McKinney.
you already
She
know.
can have them. I will perform the ceremony. Okay.
Bring me my nuggets on the porch, boo.
Oh boy. All right.
That's
Well,
all.
look, y'all, I appreciate you taking time to join the show. Hang on the line backstage for me, and I'll get up with you all after the show. But look, that's going to do it, people. Again, you can find me online. Google hashtag Talk to Q. I appreciate all of you who listen, all of you who are watching, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks. We'll have something else to talk about on the Talk to Q. Everyone, take care. Peace out. All right.